Hi guys, Spencer $23 here. Welcome to today's episode. Let's get on with the update. Great debate. So the debate is raging on at the moment. People are arguing about the sneak peeks that have come so far. Have you been involved? Have you had something to do with it? I certainly have. So I've been speaking to people in the comments. I've been watching the Twitter. I've been looking in the forums, and it's very interesting what people have to say. So I would like first to clear up a few things. Let's just make something clear. I think you guys have probably noticed by now that I say what I mean, and I won't say I think something is good if I don't really think it's good. I'm not trying to impress anybody. So if I think there's something wrong with an update, I would definitely be the first person to tell you. And I'm not supporting this update just because I'm trying to curry favour with anybody. And there's a lot of things that I say that don't necessarily curry any favour at all, but they are just things because I think them, so I speak my mind. So when I say that I think this update so far has been pretty awesome, you can be assured that I genuinely mean that. Nobody's told me to say it, and it doesn't benefit me at all by making things up. So I've got a lot of people in the clans. There's maybe 900 people in our clans. So when I look at this update, I consider the bigger picture, the picture for all of those people playing the game, and the picture for the game maybe 1 or 2 years in the future. And that's why I can tell right now that this update so far has been absolutely perfect as far as some of the things which needed fixing in the game. So today we're going to talk about the Village Guard, but let's clear up a few things from yesterday. What I'm thinking of doing is every day I'll post a video whereby we'll answer some of the questions that are in the comments from the video before, where we're talking about the sneak peek, so that we don't have to discuss it all in the comments and we can address it directly in a video. I think it's much more fun that way, and more people get to see the questions and the answers. So let's just round off yesterday's video where we talked about the new shields. There are a lot still the farmers don't believe, or a lot of the farmers don't believe that this is a good thing. I promise you, hand on heart, this is a good thing. So if you think that you won't be able to defend your loot under the new shields, and people are going to steal all of your loot, just remember, you are the other people who will be doing the stealing. The loot isn't just going to evaporate into thin air. The people who are the best farmers, the people who are most dedicated farmers, they are going to have a loot bonanza. And that's the way it should be. The better farmers should be the ones who get the most loot. And that's the way this is now going to work. The loot share will be going towards the people who are trying the hardest to win raids properly, rather than trying to subvert the shield system. So when you go out searching for some loot in the future, you will have a lot more loot offered to you. You can steal a lot more loot, and sure, in your one defense you'll lose more, but you will more than make up for it if you are a good farmer and you're actually taking the offers that you are given. So there is definitely nothing to worry about that. Farming will now become a lot more interesting. Even I might go back to farming again if things pan out the way that I need them to, perhaps to get the heroes, because before, I've got to tell you guys, farming was the most tedious and boring part of the game, and now it might actually become slightly more competitive. Before, there was no competitiveness in it at all. Farming bases, the design of farming bases became utterly irrelevant. When people used to say to me, how is my base designed? And they've got the town hall outside. Well, what can you possibly say to that? There is no design really that's going to make any difference if you're going to put your town hall outside. So now farming is a competitive thing again, and I think that's absolutely great for the game. So let's get on to today's sneak peek. Today's being the Village Guard. Now this, for me, I've got to tell you guys, is the best aspect, the best change to the game since I can remember. Now, not everybody will feel like that. Maybe they won't consider the bigger picture of what this actually means, but it is going to make some serious changes, and this sets the stage for the future for the whole game to be improved drastically. So I'm not going to go through each of the numbers, the figures of how long you get for your Village Guard and when you can get it. That's all kind of boring, and I'm sure you guys have seen all these figures before, but I will put them up on the screen as we chat through this so that you can actually see what the numbers are. Everyone will get used to these numbers very soon, but let's go into the details of why this is so important. Why is it going to be great that we now have this Village Guard? If you think about before the trophy bushes, I'm sure some of you who've been around for a while will remember Jorge Yao and what he had to do to push for trophies, taking iPads into the shower, that kind of thing. It was literally, it was a game of who was prepared to go to the greatest extremes to push for the longest and ignore the rest of their life, basically. And that's now going to change. It's now going to be more of a level playing field. You're not going to have to abandon your entire life just to get high in trophies. Everybody is going to be in the same boat. I'm sure you remember the videos of people with Lego prodders prodding the screen of their iPad to try and keep them online just so they could answer the phone or go for a bath or whatever that may be. That is now taken away. There is no need for that kind of thing anymore. So everybody is in the same boat. And right now, for example, if this update was here right now, I could start scouting for bases. I could start attacking bases. And I wouldn't have to worry that the phone would ring, or I'd have to do a voiceover for a video and forget to touch my screen and lose all the trophies that I just set out to get. Which is the reason why many people are not pushing in the first place, because they just feel like they're going 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. So that fixes all of that problem. Same thing for you farming guys. You can do a quick farm in the middle of the day, lunchtime, whenever it might be, and you don't have to worry that you get distracted, you suddenly have to log off, and you just lose all the loot that you've just gained. So it's absolutely wonderful, this. And the other thing is, this is going to stop the motivation for some people to do things that they probably shouldn't be doing in this game and trying to gain unfair advantages over other people. And I can see that this is a prelude to fixing all of those problems, which I think is long overdue. And I'm sure there's many people who agree with me with that, and I can't wait to see how that changes the game. So I hope you guys are happy with it so far. I know a lot of you are not, but I think once this update comes out and you see what difference this makes, I think most people will be very happy. Every single update, this has always happened before, where people, they go crazy and say that Supercell have done something wrong, or they've ruined the game. Clearly that is not what a game developer wants to do to a game. They want to improve the game. More happy players means more money, and that's what everybody wants. So the game is definitely going to be improved. Everybody so far who's complained about previous updates before they've received them has always been proven wrong every single time, and there's absolutely no reason from the evidence so far that this one is going to be any different. And I've looked at the numbers. I would love to point out some critical flaws with these numbers: the number of hours for the shields and the percentage destruction for a base for the various different hours. And I can tell you these numbers have been calculated very, very carefully to avoid people circumventing this system. I've tried to pick a hole in it, and I would point it out to you guys if I could find one. I'd love to be the first person to say, hey, look, this is one thing that you could do to get around this system. You would be able to set your base up in a certain way so as to gain trophies, but that is not going to happen. These numbers have been picked very specifically to avoid people doing that, and to make sure it's a much more level playing field, and to make sure it's much more enjoyable to play the game without having to destroy your actual life at the same time. So I'm pretty excited by it. I hope you guys are too, and I'll keep letting you know what I think as these sneak peeks come out. And trust me, if I think one is negative, I'll be the first to let you guys know. Thank you guys for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. Don't forget to check out my other videos and subscribe to me. You've probably already subscribed already. Subscribe on YouTube and follow me on Twitter. I'll be back a little bit later, guys. We'll do a little bit more clashing, and hopefully we've got another Perfect Attacks video coming for you. But until then, you guys,
send everyone!